Yeah, I'm actually here in this podcast studio, and I started this like a podcast with a friend some weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. And then I wanted to continue it, and she didn't. She had so many things on her plate, so she said she couldn't do it, and I was a bit sad. I feel like whatever I want to do, I always depended on someone else doing it with me. So I was really scared. I was like, oh, I cannot do it on my own. It would be so weird doing that, just kind of talking to myself. But then I told the story to friends, and everyone was like, oh, you should totally do it. Just do something by yourself. And I also talked to my therapist about it, and she was like, yeah, you should. Like, I challenge you to do it. So thank you, Leah, for doing this. I also got challenged to come here totally unprepared. I brought Finn as my emotional support animal, who might wander through the screen. I'm not sure. Actually, it's such a big challenge to go somewhere and not to prepare anything, not to bring any notes, not to bring my phone. Of course, I was thinking like the other day, oh, what would I talk about? But whenever I caught the thought, I was cutting it off. I was like, no, I really need to challenge myself to come here unprepared. And it's kind of funny because I feel like most of people have it, that you want to have everything under control. If you go and travel somewhere, you book your hotel in advance, the plane tickets, and so on. And it's such a challenge, at least for me, to go somewhere and not be prepared at all. So yeah, that's this podcast about, I guess, just to see what comes up and what I want to talk about, and yeah, kind of accept this challenge of doing this. So, oh, Finn. Not sure if you can see him in the screen. That's actually my little Bali rescue dog. I found him 2 years ago, not 1.5 years ago, on the beach as a puppy. And he was super sick. He had no fur. And I was surfing. I was surfing in Kedungo on the beach every day. And I lost my fin in the water that day. So I came out of the water, and this little really sick puppy walked towards me, and yeah, I couldn't say no. I kind of had to take him in, and yeah, since then he stayed. And I think it's such a nice thing to have a dog. I actually never thought I would have a dog. I was always such a cat person. It kind of changed when I moved to Bali, and yeah, he was actually the best thing that happened, and I think also a big part why I stayed here. That's an encouragement to adopt a dog, especially in Bali. It's so funny. I feel like everyone here who stays here a bit longer has a dog at some point. They just find you. I'm pretty sure Bali just gives you a dog when you need it. I was always joking that one day I will find a street dog and I will keep him. And yeah, that's what happens. So that's the story why he's called Finn, because of the surfboard fin, and why he is here with me. Yeah, what else do I want to talk about today? It's so difficult if you go without any preparation at all. I just feel, maybe if I look back at this month, I can't believe it's already October tomorrow. This year's been, it's gone by so quickly. And I feel like this year I've learned a lot about myself, and especially recently, I feel like we are all here living in Bali in this bubble, and it's funny how it's so different from the world outside. It's like having a 9 to 5 and just working, just all day, looking forward to the weekend, going on holidays. It's such a different life, because I feel like here it kind of, I mean, I obviously also work, but it's not like I need to go for holiday, because I feel like I already live in a warm country. I see my friends every day. It's a bit more relaxed. In the morning, I would get up and go for a coffee first thing in the morning, or take Finn for a walk, go to the beach. Everything is a bit more slower. If I think back to living in Germany, I would get out of bed, like rush to go to work, sit, I don't know, 40 minutes in the car to drive to work, spend 8 hours in a really dark, like gray office with a lot of grumpy Germans, I have to say, which is also kind of affecting your mood. So I'm actually so glad that I took the step back then. I thought, like, I don't think that's it in life. And so back then I quit my job, and initially the plan was to go and travel for 6 months and see what I want to do afterwards. But obviously I'm still here. It's been 2 years. I feel like I kind of knew I wouldn't want to go back, even though I bought a round trip ticket. So yeah, we are back at this planning stage. I like to have everything planned out. But yeah, I kind of came here with no expectations. I just wanted to have a break from the life in Germany, and somehow I stayed, and I've kind of managed to get my life together so I could stay here. And yeah, that's actually also such a good decision I feel like I took. And I don't want to say like everyone should quit their jobs. I feel like you need to realize what you really want to do in life, and if you're happy in your current situation. So what else can I talk about? I'm just keep thinking what happened in my life recently. Another thing, I feel like so many people ask me about why I'm not running anymore. So I used to run so much. I used to run every day here. I used to run, I don't know, maybe 60 kilometers a week. I started with all the run clubs here, which was such a good thing because you are in a community and you kind of have a sense of belonging, especially if you move to a new town, a new country. It's, I think, one of the best things to go into a run club and meet some people. It's super easy nowadays. So that was such a helpful factor when I moved here. But it kind of took over my life in a way that I started to sign up. I was like, okay, now I'm running every day. What about a marathon? So I signed up for Singapore Marathon. I did this last year in December. It's probably the worst marathon you can do. It's super humid. It starts at 4 a.m. I just thought it was a good idea because it's close by from Bali, but I wouldn't recommend it as a beginner. Especially, I didn't even run a half marathon. I was like, oh, I'm going for a big challenge. I'm going for a full marathon. So I did that, survived that. Said that I would never do this again. That was the worst thing I ever did. But obviously, everyone who ever did that knows you're going to sign up for the next one. It's like a truck. It's crazy. And so many people right now are in this race of like signing up for the next marathon, the next half marathon, always wanting to run a better time. And actually the same thing happened to me. I signed up to so many other events. I went running in Japan. I went running in the Gold Coast half marathon recently in July. And yeah, I got a pretty good time, honestly. And it was nice to see that all the training paid off, but also I sacrificed a lot. I was basically running every day, getting up every morning at like, I would say 5:30 latest, because here in Bali, you need to run early. So I also work kind of late, so I didn't have good sleep routine, I would say. Yeah, I just got to a point during a race I did here in Canggu, actually, where I was like, during the run, I had all these thoughts in my head, like, oh, this is so hard. You know, as soon as your legs are starting to hurt, you're going to have thoughts in your mind is active. And I was like, oh, this is so hard. My legs are hurting. I cannot do it. Why I'm doing it? And I was about to stop. I was like, why do I put myself in this situation doing this? Like, my body clearly doesn't like it, or at least I talk myself down while doing it. That's kind of when it plopped up in my head, and I was like, oh wow, I think that's actually not healthy. You put your body in this situation under in a big stress situation all the time, and then you're even going to repeat it because you're going to sign up for the next race and the next race. And yeah, I just felt like I need to escape that. And I don't know if some people can relate, but there's so many marathons, half marathons, whatever happening. I'm not sure if everyone has like really happy thoughts about doing that. I'm not sure. So I think there's definitely many people who really enjoy doing it, who have like a sense of accomplishment and so on. But I really encourage like just to think why you're actually doing it and what's behind there. It's kind of, for me, honestly, I think it was almost kind of a self-harm to put myself in this situation. So yeah, another topic I'm thinking of talking about, maybe it's the topic of friendship, because also that has been recently kind of in my head, in my mind. And here in Bali, I feel like you meet so many people, and sometimes I'm asking myself about the concept of friendship. Like, can you be friends with everyone? Or are there certain people you just cannot be friends with, and why? And I feel deep down it all comes back to like the energy. Do you feel safe with that person? Can you open up with that person? And really to tune into your body. And I feel like I've never did this before. I was just like, oh yeah, this person is nice, whatever. Now I feel like I really try to feel, oh, how is my body feeling being with this person? Can I be open with this person? Can I talk about everything? And to kind of get to know how you feel, how yourself feels with someone else in the room. And I feel like if we have compassion with everyone, we could basically be friends with everyone in a way, or get along with everyone. But also, I recently thought we need to keep in mind that we also trigger some people, and people trigger us. So I think we need to be okay as well with people walking away, because they, for example, cannot deal with that trigger, and that's fine. And I think that's how kind of the friends or making friends, meeting people balances in a way that, yeah, sometimes people might walk away, and that's totally fine. And it's, yeah, I think he needs to pee. Otherwise, he'll stop for a second. You need to eat it, Finn. How many minutes do I have left? 50?
Yeah.
Still?
Start, yeah.
What? I cannot talk anymore. Okay, I'll find something. Okay, we had a short pee break for Finn, but he's back with a treat, so I think he's calmer now, and I'm calmer as well. It's so funny when you go somewhere and, yeah, you come so unprepared like me. Like, you're like, okay, what I'm going to talk about, and it kind of feels awkward. Especially here in the studio, I always feel everyone comes prepared. People have their life together. They have a business. They come and record something. Yeah, I feel like it's super weird coming here and not being prepared and just talking about random stuff, but that's part of the challenge I accepted. So that's why I'm doing this, just to prove myself I can do it. I've talked about how I found Finn. I've talked about running. I've talked about friendships a bit. I had a really interesting conversation with a friend yesterday, and I was thinking about it this morning, and he was actually telling me about OnlyFans, and that people who, or women, whatever, who upload pictures there, kind of call themselves content creators. So whenever a girl, so that's what he told me. So whenever a girl says, "Oh, I'm a content creator," she's actually uploading pictures or whatever using OnlyFans. And you can especially see it when someone has an Instagram account and shows, for example, has a lot of picture with feet in front or whatever body part it is, that they're for sure on OnlyFans. And I was like, what? Like, it opened a whole new world for me. I had no idea about it. I mean, obviously, I knew that OnlyFans exists, but I didn't know anything else. Also, many people here in Bali apparently do it. That's what I got told, to make easy money in a way. And we had this whole conversation about it because me as a woman, I'm thinking like, oh, I don't want to upload any, like, apparently it doesn't even have to be naked pictures. Apparently it's even just pictures in a, I don't know, like a towel or whatever, that these women apparently don't even show anything, or they just show their feet. So it's not even like showing like the boobs or whatever, but still it's kind of selling pictures of your body or your body part, which is, it's really weird to me. And we had the whole conversation about it, and he told me that people would write with these content creator, and they write with so many people that they have to hire agents to write with them. So they have kind of virtual assistants that write with those people, taking a look at their pictures, and have like real conversations. And he told me that it's not about really the sexual thing, because otherwise they could go on the internet and watch porn. It's more about having this kind of connection to another person, kind of like a virtual girlfriend in a way, because people are super lonely, and that's apparently a thing, and that's so many millions of people in the world who use OnlyFans just to find kind of a sense of maybe even belonging, maybe not being alone, maybe feeling important. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's kind of opened like a whole new thinking in my head. I was like, whoa, I never thought about that in this way. So it's super interesting. And also I was thinking, how is our society that we kind of have to go on, or people have to go on their phone to make connections, to I don't know, kind of just talk to someone and feeling feeling good instead of going outside and meeting people. And I know it's not for everyone super easy to do that. For me, maybe it comes natural, especially here in Bali. I go to a coffee shop and I start talking to people, especially having my dog. Like, this is honestly a good thing. Just bring your dog everywhere and you can talk to people even more easily. But apparently that doesn't account for so many other people, and there's so many people in the world who are lonely. Yeah, I was thinking it's someone develops this app or whatever just to give them fake connections, and I was thinking, isn't there something else you can do to connect people in a better way, and or heal them in a way? I don't know. I mean, there's definitely something that you're compensating for, whatever. I don't want to judge anything, so I haven't seen it myself. But yeah, this whole topic about like OnlyFans and then thinking about how lonely people are, really, like it just opened up a whole conversation about it, and it was super interesting. So yeah, just leave that here. And otherwise, I also had a conversation yesterday about, I went to a meditation class at Omni, and also this whole topic of meditation is so new to me. I never did that before, but I really enjoy doing this class because it's like a bit of a guided breathwork, and then you go into meditation and you just sit in stillness and you will have thoughts coming up. But there's some technique, like for example, I got told to visualize 3 pots in front of you. So whenever a thought comes up, there's a pot is like a bowl or whatever. It's like past, now and future. And you have a thought coming up during this meditation, and in your head, you just put it in one of these bowls. And that, for example, helped me a lot. There's also some other techniques. For example, you imagine a river in front of you and you place this thought in the river and then let it go. It's actually so nice kind of to empty your head. And when you come to this space where you really think nothing, and it's just emptiness and stillness and quietness, it's so amazing, and it's kind of addictive, like in a good way. Like, I really like to go to this meditation class now. Would have never imagined this years ago that I would do that. I always thought these people are a bit strange or whatever, like all into, I don't know, like you have these stereotypes about meditation, I guess. So went into this meditation class, and afterwards we kind of sat by the fire there. It's a really nice area, and we were talking about the meditation, and a friend of mine told me, it was his first time doing it. He told me that he has so many thoughts in his head. It's like he's already waiting for the next thought. So it was really difficult for him. We talked about how we are always stimulated all day. We check our phones every second. Some people even wear an Apple Watch or whatever smartwatch where you get the notification on your wrist. You're like a slave of these devices. It's actually funny if you think about it. Yeah, we're so used to get all this dopamine or whatever, like by watching videos, scrolling TikTok, Instagram. Like there's so many apps to do that, and we kind of lost the connection to ourselves. And it's even harder for us now to really meditate and think nothing, and just sit in stillness. So I think that's a really, really good thing to practice. And also just put your phone in another room. And especially, for example, I struggled so much with my phone in the morning because I would always have it at the bedside table, and the first thing I do is check my phone, and you don't even think about it. Immediately you end up on Instagram for like 20 minutes in the morning, and it's just opening, like it's actually trash. You're just trashing your brain in the morning. I'm really going to challenge myself and put my phone in another room, because that's apparently the only thing you can do to prevent this in the morning, which is already crazy. I mean, that's like a proper addiction, right? It's like people who smoke cigarettes or whatever, like you just automatically grab your phone in the morning and check it. So that's definitely going to be a challenge for me. I would say October challenge starting tomorrow. I already tried it today, but I failed a bit. I still grabbed my phone, even though it was in the other room, and I went back to bed with it. Really bad, but let's see. Maybe I can give an update how this is going. What else can I say? Maybe even about the gym yesterday. I always thought that people here, like in Bali, I mean, it doesn't matter. Nobody drives a big car. Like everyone drives a scooter. So everyone kind of dresses in the same way. You don't see designer bags. You don't see fancy cars. I feel like it doesn't really matter how much money you have or not. People are kind of the same, I would say, to a kind of just think, of course. So I was telling that my friend who visits that I think, here in Bali, it doesn't matter. Like everyone is the same. I enjoy this so much. And we were sitting in this gym when I said that. And he looked around and he was like, maybe you're right in this. But the other hand, people are really taking care of their bodies. And people spend a lot of money for this gym. People spend a lot of money for, I don't know, personal trainer, maybe even getting Botox, whatever, like some, I don't know if it's everywhere, but I feel like it's kind of shifting from, okay, I don't know, wearing designer clothes and driving fast cars to actually here showing off as taking care of your body in a way, having the money to actually have time, or having this kind of job that you have time to go to the gym all day and not work, or have a business running behind the scenes. So that's a kind of an interesting way to look at it as well, to look at how people kind of express themselves. Like here apparently in Bali it's like a important thing, or not an important thing, but it's like people have time all day. They have these jobs, so they have time all day to go in the gym all day, work on their body, look super fit. And if you drive around here, like people look good. Like if I go back to Germany and I look around, I'm like, ooh, but it's just a different lifestyle. And that's kind of interesting. And maybe people back in Germany, they would, the other hand, just, I don't know, spend their money to drive a big car because that's the status symbol there. And here it is having time to go to the fancy gym. So until yesterday, I really haven't thought about it. Yeah, that was kind of a good conversation. I had to just be aware of that. So I just had another break with Finn. Seems like podcast is maybe not his favorite things to do. I don't know. But yeah, I was just thinking if it all made sense, what I talked about and whatever. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I just kind of brain dump everything I thought or I had in my head, and try to not put pressure on myself and to make it something, because in the end, I don't know what I will do with it, but I think it's a good challenge to just get out of your comfort zone and do something you would normally not do. Like when I said in the beginning, I told my friend like, I cannot do a podcast on my own. It would be so weird. Like I want to do it with a friend, but I feel like my whole life I was always depending on someone else to do something with me. So I was like, okay, you're right. This time I can actually just go here and talk about something. I feel like, of course, it's always nice to have someone else to talk to you. But I was also thinking I could do a podcast and invite some other people, but then I will always make it about themselves, about the other person. And I think it's something this time I really need to make about myself, and maybe tell my story and tell whatever is in my head. It's actually like journaling. You just journal. Like I recently discovered I really love journaling, and I have thoughts in my head, or even in the morning or before going to bed, I just write everything down that I have in my head, and it's so helpful. I literally discovered it 2 months ago. I started it and I was like, wow, this is insane. I wish I would have had this before, because it helps you so much just to write everything on paper, just to get it out of your brain. And then sometimes even new thoughts pop up, or sometimes even nothing, and you just can go to bed in like a really relaxed way because you just wrote everything down that was in your head. And maybe it's a bit similar with this podcast. You just talk everything away you have in your head. And maybe there's one or two things that some other people are like, oh yeah, I can relate with it, or I might think of this as well, or whatever. And maybe it's not. It doesn't matter. And I think we kind of need to stop to always have like this productivity thought. It's funny, like I catch myself some days, I really struggle to just do nothing, and like let's say a weekend and a Sunday, and I would just do nothing, like just, I don't know, stay in bed, watch Netflix for 3 hours, literally, I don't know, read a book, or like just do nothing. And it's funny because this is really hard now, like at least for me, just to take a day and relax, because I feel like in our society everything has to be about productivity. I don't know, like even like recording a podcast, okay, it needs to be productive in a way. I don't know, it needs to advertise something and make money, whatever. I feel like everything nowadays is connected to productivity, and and you feel like on a day you don't do anything, I feel like something like, oh, I'm not productive. That was not a good day. Or because maybe you connect it to yourself first. You're like, oh, I'm only worthy if I'm productive. I think that's definitely something I do. And I think the only reason, like the only thing how you can break is actually do it. Just do nothing. And actually, when I did nothing, like 2 weeks ago, suddenly the thought of a podcast popped up in my head. So I feel like you can have really creative thoughts when you just take the time, sit with yourself, allow yourself to really nothing. And yeah, just be with yourself, don't distract yourself, put all your social media away. In Bali, there's a really nice day. I think it's always in March. Not sure. It's called Nyepi. It's a traditional holiday, and everything is closed. All lights are out. You're not allowed to use electronic. I mean, obviously you can, but you shouldn't. There's no one coming in your house checking, but most of the people here stick to it. And I also know foreigners here stick to it, and it's such a relaxing day because the whole island stands still. You're also not allowed to go outside, so you usually sit in your house. You have some candles on instead of a light. Actually, the last 2 years, I turned my phone off the whole day. I told my parents, like, hey, you won't reach me that day. It's nappy. And yeah, I read a book. I usually don't find time to do so. And I feel like every country should do that. That's amazing. Even the airport here in Bali closed. But yeah, it's just a day where everyone just does nothing for a day. And that's amazing. And it's funny that normally we don't allow ourselves to do that. We always have to do something. But I think now looking back to this podcast today, I would say I enjoyed it even more last time having someone next to me talking, like having a proper conversation. But on the other hand, I'm super proud I did that. And I challenged myself to come here, sit in the studio and just talk about random things. Though it feels a bit awkward, of course, because it feels like you have a conversation with yourself for like minutes and minutes. I think that's a good thing to do once in a while. And yeah, let's see what we'll do with it. Yeah. You can stop it. Okay. Yes.